Hello there. Welcome to Scientistic. My name's Weston. As the name implies, I've created this channel in order to showcase the different fun science and engineering projects, experiments, and other playing around that I plan to do. In this first video though, the objective and process is pretty simple. Though I'm colorblind, I want to use the relatively new and uncommon pigment YInMn Blue in a way to make it a more handleable and less messy form of this beautiful substance. So, what is YInMn Blue? This inorganic pigment, first synthesized but a few years ago, is perhaps the most beautiful and vibrant iteration of one of my favorite colors I have ever laid eyes on. Its name comes from its chemical structure, that being of yttrium, indium, and manganese. But wait, I just said I was colorblind, so what's up? Well, only a very tiny population of people on Earth who are colorblind can see in just black and white. The vast majority of those who are colorblind just have limited color vision, meaning it is harder to differentiate individual colors that are often near each other in hue or brightness. For example, in my case, it can be very difficult to tell certain shades of orange and green apart if they appear as bright as each other. I also have a hard time telling colors apart such as blue, violet, and purple. So, does YInMn Blue look purple to me? Well, that's one thing that makes the striking color of this little powder so amazing to me. It's unmistakably blue, and so much so that none of my cameras are even able to capture its true saturation. In terms of Hertz values, it's an oof in my book. Originally, I tried mixing YInMn Blue and white acrylic paint, aiming to make a little white chip that wouldn't spread and get everywhere. But this proved to be fruitless, as I would have needed way too much of this precious little material for a disappointingly small result. The white simply overpowered the blue, and this was not worth pursuing. I, however, remembered that clear epoxy resin existed, which also meant that whatever I made could be formed into any shape without requiring air to penetrate the surface to cure the inside of the sample. This is one good reason why other clear adhesives, such as cyanoacrylate, superglue, would not work. While the outside would solidify into a hard shell, you could easily crack it open and spill the nasty stuff all over your hands and clothes at a later point. Luckily, all I have to do here is mix the pure blue powder in with the clear liquids, then mix it all together and pour it before it turns rock hard. As a bonus, I'll be using my old vacuum chamber here to remove any air bubbles that are whipped in by the stirring process. Originally, I was actually planning to use a tungsten cube on a stick to make a cube mold and a basic molding material such as Play-Doh, but after finding this absolutely fabulous silicone mold for about $2, I thought that this would be much easier and lead to a smoother end result. What made silicone so great in this instance is the fact that the epoxy resin will not stick to it, so getting the sample out afterwards should be a piece of cake. Alright, with all that lecturing out of the way now, let's get to making. Ideally, we want to mix this fine powder in with only one part of the two-part epoxy to get it as evenly distributed as possible before the hardener is added. Once that hardener is in there, the clock is ticking as the stuff gets more and more difficult to work with. As this is not rocket science, I'll just be eyeballing the quantities of each part to what I think is right. Now that it's all mixed, I'll quickly throw it in my vacuum chamber for degassing. The acrylic lid of the chamber may look horrible and dangerous, as I made the boneheaded decision to use isopropanol in it many years ago, but after hitting it with a propane tank while under full vacuum, I am confident that it will not implode for now. I do, however, have a replacement tempered glass lid on the way to prevent this issue in the future. Alright, time to scrape it all out into our mold. It's been a few hours, and now that it's mostly cured, we can go ahead and pop it out of the mold. You'll notice a second cube here as well, for which I've added some cool blue europium glow powder to hopefully let this thing look beautiful whether the lights are on or not. Here we go! So this was just a short and simple video to start off with, but I hope you enjoyed anyways. Stay tuned for my upcoming projects and experiments, such as the analysis of some exploding airgun pellets to figure out what they're made of, me detailing how I built my high-speed camera, and maybe even a cool superconductor synthesis in the garage. Stay scientistic!